interesting. Okay, hey guys. This is PaperRoxas here. No camera because, well, my room's a disaster and I can't afford one yet. So, welcome to Let's Play the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition. I have played the Stanley Parable prior, so I'm very excited to get this party started. I didn't think there was going to be anything about setting that clock. I was confused because I had already booted up the game once as a test to make sure all my audio was correct. So I was very confused. Let's get started. Let's go ahead and begin the game. Disclaimer, if you hear screaming,
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I have a toddler.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alright, so as I mentioned, disclaimer, I have a toddler, so if you hear screaming, that's why. Paper husband is watching Paper Toddler. Disclaimer, again, as I said before, I have played the Stanley Parable prior, so if I don't do something like I'm doing right now, it's because I'm trying to prompt the narrator to say something, and I'm probably going to do I'm going to play how I want. That's the end of it. I hate Mondays, don't we all?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever.
Maybe.
I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
I don't remember what my jump button is. Hold on, guys. Hold on. What is jump? Well, that's what I was trying to do. Can I not jump in my own office? Okay. Apparently you cannot jump in your own office.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Achievement unlocked, you can't jump. First achievement. Why is there a jump button?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Does that have something to do with the game that I can't jump? That's so annoying. Ah.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I'm aware of that. leave me alone. Be my Valentine. Aw, how sweet. Who farted? Oh. Yeah. No one else say who farted? Oh, yeah. Okay. Does that say what I think it says? Probably. Well, that tells me to, not put this for children on my YouTube. Can I? I can't close the doors behind me. Is there something maybe for that? Oh, I gotta go do this now. Hold on, guys. Hey. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Oh, Oh, okay. I can't close this door. Okay. I can't close that door.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, do I behave? Do I behave? Let's behave for a minute.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Do not alter without consulting the whiteboard manager. Rip France. Did France die because they altered without consulting with the whiteboard manager? I'm thinking that's it. What's not cost effective? Future was yesterday, tomorrow is now, tomorrow. Ah, that's a slideshow. I'm like, who's tapping? Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic of blank. Employee. Jim. Alright. Quarterly teenagers. A lot of percentage. Space between. Throw something in the ideas bin. Is there an ideas bin? I still can't jump. Why did it say I can jump? I know my spacebar is not broken. That's frustrating. Ha. Boom, close it.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
We did it. Seriously.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
There are so many reasons to stay in here, Mr. Narrator. For example, this lovely
It was
mop bucket.
baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Yeah, well, let me interact with the broom then. Come on.
Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yes,
Standing around doing nothing? Why?
to annoy you.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I genuinely just want to annoy you.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right?
I'm fully
If
aware.
I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
I like how I make tapping noises like I'm on a keyboard.
maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path.
Sure.
Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
No, they won't. They know this is me. Even Paper Husband does
Stanley
this.
was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
I don't remember him saying this in the first one. This must be new.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
Inside, yes.
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
Sure.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
I want to wait longer. I remember him saying that. Some of the other stuff I really don't remember him saying, but I could have also just not stayed in the broom closet nearly as long as I have right now. Are we going to say anything else, Mr. Narrator? Come on. Come on. Really? Still want to jump. He's not going to say anything else, is he?
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. That's a very concerning picture. I don't remember this. Oh, it's very nice. Elevator simulator? Oh, this is Stanley.
Step forward.
I feel like we hear the narrator having a phone. Oh, the narrator's totally singing. We hear him. Okay, so the elevator is just that. Okay.
Stepping in...
Nothing? Can I go back now? Yeah. You are now leaving. Up and away! Escape pod launch bay! Escape! Gotta love the dark, foreboding hallway. What happened? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
All right. So I'm going to assume I have to select this to get out of here. Yeah. Oh, no. Really? Wait. Am I stuck? No! Is this supposed to happen? Crap. Mr. Narrator, can you come back? Respond. Please. Come on. Do I really? Are you saying yes? Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'll go out the window again later. Wait. I like work. I just hate my boss. Okay. Most of us can agree with that sentiment. Most of us. But I actually enjoy my boss. Her and I get along very well. Tiki-tack.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Sure. Why not?
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Francis
Feeling
still
a
dead.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find... Oh, no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Gladly. I'm not jumping out of a window and then stuck. Although I am going to sit here for a minute to see if he actually does say something. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've played this game. I've only ever watched people play it since I played it. Nothing? Nothing? Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm gonna go back in here. Still sitting there. Do we still have... Yes, we do. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Two, 8, 4, 5. Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Trash bin? No. Button.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Oh, I'm having too much fun.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Oh, I am loving this so much. Can you press it again?
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Oh, my Amanda. Oh, this is killing me. In different ways, it's killing the narrator. Ta-da!
Oh my God. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a timeout here for a minute while I process this.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is hilarious.
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you?
I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process.
Oh, good gracious.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it.
Have you?
I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality.
I'm happy to hear.
As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Ooh, I get a title.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Well, excuse me. One more time. One more time. I wonder how many times I can actually keep doing this. Oh, he didn't say anything. Oh.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment.
Oh.
Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill.
Oh my.
Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Oh, okay.
There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate, and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
Oh, what did I find?
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
World's healthiest human being, all tricks revealed. We did it, the pyramids. Live, the guy who went to Mars. Stanley reveals all in his new book. Live on stage, all eyes on Stanley. Ooh, this has to be new. An evening with world peace, baby. I don't think I've ever...
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
I don't think I've ever seen this before. This has to be new. World's first sentient machine.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Hold on. killing me. Thanks for showing me the cool skateboard trick in the parking lot. You're too cool. Good luck on stage. Rock on. Break a leg, champ. Your boss. Love the way you ride elevators. Break a leg, Stanley. My true love for my... Wait. Hold on. Stanley, my true love for you grows every day. You make me feel alive. Your wife from the apartment ending. No one tells stories the way you do. Go get him, Tiger. Up again, down again. The Stanley story. Oh my word. Congratulations, and remember where you came from, your coworkers. This is hilarious. Oh my gosh. The dude who came up with pizza. What? Doing great. A conversation with Alex is great. The Lord meet and greet. Oh my god. My word. That was funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we might have time for one more ending before I have to go fold laundry. Let's do this.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's go right this time.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Sure, why not?
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Wait.
It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Fuel. Okay, that's not what I thought it said. Alright. So, then I could show maybe.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Absolutely.
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Yep.
Really worth it.
Absolutely. You guys say anything more about this room? Sounds like you kind of hate it.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Great. Wonderful.
Mic off.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Mic on.
Is the game trying to send me a message? We're gonna see. Can't go back. I want a drink. Give me a drink. Is it time? Yeah, let's move on.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
And we're gonna find the broom closet.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Rude. Rude.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay,
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take, too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future?
Maybe.
Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it.
Except it's
2845. Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blindly, ever. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay, we will actually go down the elevator appropriately this time, not go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. As much fun as that was.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I mean, I can't go backwards, so I have... Unless, can I? Still can't jump. I guess I have to have the strength to find out because I cannot go backwards.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Oh, and it's CCTV closed captioning television. Wonderful.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Pirate? We have a pirate? Employee pirate?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I'm sure this is 4. That's 5.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won!
Woohoo.
He had defeated the machine,
I beat the game.
unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Achievement unlocked. Beat the game. I did beat the game. Okay, guys. This is where we are going to pause the game for now. I will come back to it very, very shortly. I have those wonderful adult responsibilities, and that is to go fold my laundry and to remake my bed. So, with that being said, thank you everybody so much to watching. Try not to copy Markiplier, but thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Any view is a view in my book, and this is ultimately just a hobby that I am doing on the sidelines. I work full time. I am a mom. I am a wife. I'm recovering from back surgery, 2 of them. So, this is just something to do in my spare time. Do I expect anything of this? No, absolutely not. Do I enjoy doing this? Yes, I do. I am not new to YouTube. This is just a new page. Trust me, you do not want to see my first YouTube videos. Ultra cringe. They are 12 years old, 13, 14, 14 years old. 14-year-old videos. Yeah, let's not do that. So, I will talk to you guys all later. Thank you for watching. Till next time. Bye!